You spent decades building that network. It was a structure built from shared projects, long meetings. It was reinforced by quick coffees in the lobby, greetings in the hallway. Each person was a node, a known quantity within a familiar rhythm. The calendar held it all together, a silent agreement of shared time and purpose. We often believe this structure is permanent. We think the connections forged in the heat of deadlines and corporate goals will simply endure on their own. We assume the value we created together is the only glue we need. But that is not what actually stays with us. The corporate rhythm fades. The shared calendars are emptied. The automatic points of contact disappear one by one. What remains is something quieter, something less defined. The professional reality shifts from a structured ecosystem to an open field. The people are still there, but the pathways that connected you have vanished. It is in this silence that a new question arises, one that the busyness of work never allowed you to fully consider. The question is not about utility, it is about meaning. Most people assume that maintaining a network is an act of strategy. They see it as a series of calculated moves. Send an article, make a call, schedule a lunch. The goal is to remain visible, to keep your name active in their minds. This perspective treats relationships as assets to be managed, like a portfolio that requires regular balancing. It is a transactional view, born from a world where every action must have a measurable return. It is a language of quid pro quo, of giving in order to one day receive. This approach, however, often feels hollow once you step away from the formal structure that supported it. It can feel like a performance. Each message can seem like a subtle sales pitch, even when you're selling nothing but your own continued relevance. The connections that once felt natural and effortless now carry a weight of expectation. You start to wonder if they think you want something. You start to wonder if you do. This quiet destabilization is the true challenge. It is not about losing contacts. It is about losing the context that made them feel real. The pressure to maintain your network often pushes you into a subtle kind of performance. You forward an interesting article with a note. Thought you might find this useful. The connection turns into a task on a to-do list, a box to be checked. They feel the slight formality in your tone, the carefully constructed casualness of your message. They recognize the script. They've used it themselves. You measure network health by the number of coffees scheduled, not by the quality of the conversations. The effort is high, but the fulfillment is low. This is the moment most people stop thinking. Faced with the awkwardness and the sense of obligation, the easiest path is to simply let the connections fade. We accept the quiet drift as an inevitable consequence of professional change. If this feels familiar, stay with me. This quiet retreat is not a failure of character. It is a failure of imagination. We stop thinking because the corporate world gave us only one model for professional relationships, one based on utility. We assume the only two options are transactional networking or a slow, silent fade. The shared humanity that existed alongside the shared work gets overlooked. This is where the meaning quietly shifts. It is an internal shift from asking, "What is this connection for?" to asking, "Who is this person to me?" This question is slower, quieter, infinitely more profound. For years, you were taught to see your network as a field to be harvested. Every connection was a potential crop. We talk about leveraging contacts, tapping into our network, seeking a return on investment. But what if you shifted your perspective from a harvest to a garden? A garden is not something you leverage. It is something you tend. You water the soil. You pull the weeds. The joy is found in the act of tending itself, not just in the final product. It is a quieter, more intentional practice. It might mean sending a message with no expectation of a reply, sharing something beautiful you saw that reminded you of them. It is an act of giving without an associated ledger. A gardener understands that not every seed will sprout and not every plant will bear fruit, and that is okay. The garden's worth is also in its existence as a place of quiet, of life, of potential. You become a caretaker, a steward of the connections themselves. The focus shifts from what you can get to what you can thoughtfully and gently give. An invitation for coffee is no longer a strategic move. It becomes a simple offering of time and presence. The goal is the conversation itself. The purpose is to enjoy another person's company. Would you be open to a walk in the park next week with no agenda at all? This kind of offer is so rare in the professional world that it stands out. It is a quiet declaration that the purpose of getting together is the connection itself. It is not a means to an end, it is the end. But in all this planning and strategizing, we rarely pause to ask a much quieter, more fundamental question. Why do we want to keep these specific people in our lives? If it is not for a future transaction, not for a potential job lead, then what is it for? When you are clear on your own why, the how becomes secondary. The need for a script disappears because your intention is clear. You are no longer trying to maintain a network. You are choosing to nurture a relationship. The question is not about what you should do. It is about who you want to be in connection with others. Perhaps the real question is, what kind of connections do you truly want to carry with you into the next chapter of your life? And what kind of person do you want to be as you tend to them? If this stayed with you, there's another reflection on this channel that continues the conversation.